Hi everyone, this is the video on integrating your new property onto Airbnb through SuperControl. So you have added your owner and then added your property and added any housekeeper. You've also filled out these tabs, so the main ones to get your property on. So the settings, the web details, photos, amenities, maps and price planner. So I'm just using Scott's test property just to show you how to start syncing your property on Airbnb. So as I said, you've got all these tabs filled out as fully as possible. All your photos are added, your descriptions are in, making your listing stand out, and you've added all your prices and you've put the location in the maps. So the next step to start the process with Airbnb is to go to Integrations tab, select Channel Manager and International, and from here you would select Airbnb. This will then bring up a list of all our properties. You'll see that some haven't been synced yet, so they look like these first three. They don't have a listing ID and it's got the start button. This is what it looks like once it's been integrated. So it has a listing ID. You can view the listing from here and do some admin. So you can stop this process at any time and unsync it by just switching it off. That would remove it from being synced with SuperControl, and it would take it off Airbnb. So I'm using this test property, so I'm just going to pop that in there just to reduce these results. So you've got you found your property that you were looking for, so you would put in your own property name in there and search and it will come up. So what you want to do is hit the start button. This is the first stage, so you'll see this information come up that started and an arrow to say that data is being copied. So it'll sit like that for a while and then it'll turn to the tick to say it's been copied. And then you may have to just wait a short time until it's validated. So once you hit the start button, if you come back into your property and under web details, if you go to Airbnb data, now it should come up like this with these different tabs along the top and information for you to fill out. So just go through the basic details, put in the bathroom, the bedrooms, the property type, whatever it is, if it's an apartment, a house, and if it's just a room or if it's a shared room or if it's the entire house that the guests get, then select that. So the amenities in this, so because you filled out the amenities from the tabs, this would have saved the information that you ticked, so it should be shown up here. So just go through it and check that all that's relevant to your property is showing up as ticked. So scroll right down and fill out your capacity cancellation policy and everything like that, the number of beds, the check-in. You can add a note about descriptions or the house manual. You don't need to put that in at the moment, but do the room configuration. So what's in the first room? Is it a double bed or a king size bed? Is there just one or is there two? And then in the second bedroom, maybe there's two. If there's another one, then you just hit the plus button and it'll give you another option. So you can have two in there. And then hit save. then you just basically want to move along these tabs. So if you go to location, now this should have pulled it through from the information that was in the maps and the address and the settings. So you should see the coordinates in there. If it's not there, then you can just hit the locate button and it will find that for you and it'll put the information in, and then just hit save. Always hit save after everything that you do. Then move on to the description. So it should have pulled through the name and the summary. Now, the summary is a minimum of 50 characters, so you really want just the, that's not going to work, just the short summary. So for some reason you can't populate this from that section. So it's a good idea to open up another tab, open up Super Control in another tab and have your property open on the web details page so that you can literally just copy and paste the information over. So some of the booking sites that lets you populate the information over. So I would just copy the short description and put that in as your summary. What makes the listing unique? I'll just take sections out of your main description and pop that in there. And it just splits it up into the different sections that Airbnb have. So you can fill out the rest of the bits, or you can do that later and then just hit save. And just move to the next tab for photo. Now it will show up like this, and you need to hover over and actually select the photos that you want to add onto Airbnb. So these are just random photos that I just chucked in the test property so that I could do this training video and show you. So you would select them so that they have the ticks in them, and then you hit save. The rates tab. So you can set an uplift if you want. Don't usually do that on Airbnb because they only charge 5% commission. However, if it was Booking.com, they're charged 15%, so I would generally put a wee uplift on that or add a service fee. But here for Airbnb, we just leave that at 0. If you're adding a cleaning fee onto your listing for guests to pay, this is where you would put that in for Airbnb. And you can tick whether to show the cleaning fee to the owner or the housekeeper, or just leave it blank. It'll just come in because it just comes into us anyway. You can also tick this so that it'll send any discounts that you've set and any security deposit and default options and extras. So it would just tick them just in case there's anything set in there. And availability. So this lets you say how many days notice the maximum amount of nights that you can stay in the property and the minimum hours notice that we need before we're ready for a booking. So if you're super organised, you could have this set to 0 hours, so that would just accept bookings, same day bookings. The guest books on the 12th and arrives on the 12th. So you would only choose that if you are very confident your cleaner is great and she goes in on the exit days, everything's clean straight away and it's all ready for a new guest arriving at 3 p.m. If that is the case with yours, then you can set that to 0. If not, set it to 24 hours notice, and that gives you at least a day's notice to make sure that everything's ready for the person arriving. If you know that there's dates unavailable at the moment, then you can go in and block these off so that when the listing goes live, they're already blocked off. Otherwise, you can go in and block dates later on. So again, you would just hit save. So you've filled out all that. You now want to check the status of the integration. So we'd go back in here and just see where our little timer's at. So I'm just going to filter this down, and you can see now that it's shown up as validated because I filled out all that information on those tabs. So at this point, you can create your listing. I'm not going to do it because it's going to put it live on Airbnb, and we don't want a test property live on Airbnb. You can choose to sync only the rates and the availability from SuperControl over, but as you've filled out all those tabs with all those information, you might as well just have all that information transferred over to Airbnb in the first instance. So I would not tick that just now. I would just tick create listing and let it do its thing. I'll just hit it just so you can see what it does. So your retimer will start saying it's been created. So it's really just keeping an eye on that, checking back. It might take 10 minutes, it might take an hour, just depends how much information it's transferring over. So that is all you can do for now. As I said, once you check back and your listing is approved, it will have an ID number in here, an option to view your listing. So then you can then go into Airbnb. There should be an email that comes into the bookings email advising that they're started syncing your listing. You should then get another email into the bookings emails advising that your listing is ready to be published. So it won't go live straight away. You'll have to go in and actually publish it. So I've come in, logged into Airbnb, and you can now see my test property sitting at the top, ready to be published. So click onto that. So because we're controlling everything from SuperControl, it won't let you edit anything within Airbnb at this point. So if you're all ready to publish your property, you're confident everything's all okay on SuperControl, come in here and I'm just going to publish this, take it straight off. So hit publish. This just let you see what happens. So go back to all listings. And you can see there that it's now set as listed. I'm just going to go into the listing. You should get an email telling you as well that it's been published. Now, we've went in and you can't edit all this information because we've set it to sync everything over. But if you just have a quick look over, you'll see the stuff that you've put in. Now, if you do want to edit it within Airbnb, which sometimes you need to do, just to make sure you've got all the settings that Airbnb have and you've selected everything, what to do is go back to the listings, go into SuperControl Sync, already published, alphabetical order,